So this is the column in 1976 Trans Am Special Edition. I don't know. I'm just saying that because that's what it is. I don't know if there's a difference. And it's got tilt steering and a blinker. Steering column. You know, everybody says it's easy. Well, it ain't easy if you don't know what is what. If you take it apart, it's simple, but not knowing. So this is what I have. I showed you the steering column, and I have this, and this. And that was in like the glove console box. So from here, we're going to start taking apart a column that I found up in my bone pile. And I remember now, I got it, there was a garage sale, and I got the column off a car that I can't remember what year. It was just laying there and I just grabbed it. But now it turns out it's lucky I have it. So anyway, that's what this is about. Don't know what we're doing until we're done. So things might be repeated over and over, or changed, or whatever. So by the end of this, you should know how to put a 76 together and what parts you're looking for. So again, just to say it again, this is what I have. It was in the box, but what comes out of the other steering column, we'll find out. So I found this other steering column upstairs. This is what I have. This is how it looks. So looking down inside there, so we took what off first?
The lock ring come off first, and then the nut.
Okay.
And now this is the horn assembly.
That comes off.
Yep.
Now is there a ring?
Okay, so the button, so that goes in, and it's like an eighth of a turn to the left or right, and it'll lock that in, even though it's come out loose on us already. And the only reason why I know that's from the other steering column.
Okay, well what I can see at this point is now we need a steering wheel puller, or a puller to pull this piece off. So we just got to find, and then this piece in here.
That springing thing, that's what I was saying. That goes, there's a button. If you look, there's a notch on it. So you
So
push.
it's in upside
The
down.
plastic's broke is what it is. I can see it
Maybe.
from here.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's where we are right now. Since I couldn't find anybody who had a video on this, I'm making one. And this piece looks like this.
Had some water in it at some time.
So it looks like, would you say that's the contact? It spins on that button.
Yeah.
So that must be the horn button contact, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing
button
down there.
Right. Oh, you got that notch you gotta line
And this
up.
notch here,
Lines up there. Keep going. There you go.
this notch right here lines up in there, and then what? You put it in and turn it, you said?
No, so the button that's just laying down in there,
Yeah.
that goes in, and then there's like a quarter turn one way or another, and it'll lock it in place. So it come free. I'm
Yeah, that's
guessing because the water damage.
So again, we're just working this out, so we got this piece here that's the horn contact. So again, I'm going over this because I didn't know. So how does that go in?
So when we pulled the wheel, we seen it laying, and when we pulled the horn assembly out, we seen it laying in there like this. The spring was still in the hole. So basically, when you put it in, you'll push it in. There's a notch for this little nipple here. You'll slide it in there, and then basically it should turn one way or another slightly, and that'll lock it in place.
So that piece was just laying in there sideways, so we're trying.
Oof. Here, you shot it out again. It's kind of difficult. You got to have a grip on that plastic.
So anyway, that's how we think it goes in. You push it in and turn it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You can see the notch and the little groove in there
So
with the spring
maybe
on.
that should be on before the wheel goes on, huh?
Yeah, before this piece, probably.
Okay, anyway, we're just documenting everything, so go ahead and pull that out. Lay it on the table so we can see what it looks like. So the spring goes, show me how it goes together.
So you get the sleeve over the contact, and then the copper spring. And then that nipple, like I said, goes in there, and you can see the groove. It's at the bottom.
And I
of
can
that
also
hole.
see a slot in here, right?
Yeah, so you get the slot, and then looking in it from this angle, you can see it kind of goes off to the left at this angle of the shaft.
So we're trying to find the right size holes. I got this checker thread thing. We just found the right bolt because these are kind of rusty. But now, what are they?
5/16 coarse threaded.
5/16 coarse. Okay, I had to go buy bolts 5/16. I think these are 5/16 18 by 4 inch. Okay, we got a loose. Here it goes. We're gonna pull it off. See if anything falls out of here. Good. That's just like I have on my other piece. Okay.
And we got the plastic guy, which that has seen some heat. Look at that.
Yeah, it's old. I'll pull that off.
Okay.
Slowly. Again. Go ahead.
So trying to pull it off didn't come off properly, I guess you could say, but this plastic cover came off. And that's when we noticed, if you look down in there, it's a lock ring.
So in the video that somebody posted, I can't remember his name, you got to push down on this to get that ring. So that's our next thing. So like that video on YouTube, I just made my own piece. When you tighten this down, it'll push this in. Then you can get in and get that lock ring. Oh yeah, and this is Monday, so Justin started to put these pieces in. There's a seat belt, the inner quarter panel. You got this side. Hey, you didn't cut the hole for the ashtray.
No.
And see, I guess they made some cars that didn't have an ashtray hole like this one does. But out of all the 20 panels I had, these are the two best. Then you put that back on, and
It's not hooked yet.
and again, we keep going all different directions. It depends on what happens.
Okay.
Okay, you know, I've been watching people's videos. They're having trouble getting this ring out. I decided, why not just use these? See what happens.
Go.
So yeah, I just put this tool, these snap ring pliers like that.
Hold on.
Just start it over.
You're good, go ahead.
And it just, I got one side out, then I put it in these little holes in here. And then I pushed the other side out, and it just came out in like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. So that's it.
Go.
Yeah, I was looking, they sell a tool, a special tool just for this, but I guess the spring is under here, so we'll see what happens. I can tell it's spring loaded. At some point, this thing's gonna fly and hit me in the face. I mean, it can't be that strong, right?
Hope not.
It's just a spring. If it does spring out, listen for where it lands.
Oh, wow. A little tension behind it, huh?
So keep going. You filming it?
Yep, I can see.
So there's that ring, the snap ring. There's this piece.
And that's the spring. There it is, I see it.
There's this piece. And here's the spring. So this is the spring that, I forget the guy's name that was telling me about it, but it's not that, I mean, I can squeeze it, so. I guess the spring just keeps this plate out tight. And then, look in here. This must be the horn contact right there. But in here it all looks in good shape. You know, I was watching a video. If you want to get this key out,
Tumbler.
out, you just take out this white plate, you know, carefully. And they say, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. There's a screw right in there. You take the screw out, and then this will just pop out. That's what the video said.
Go ahead.
So I'm just going a little bit further. I don't need to, but Justin was saying that the bearing in there might be shot. So we're gonna see if we can pop it out. Or not shot, but it needs to be greased. So I'm just gonna tell you what I find. There's this thing. There's this thing. See how
That's
that
the
come out.
race to the bearing, I believe.
So it was like this, right?
Yeah.
And the bearing, you can see it.
Probably need a bearing puller.
It's loose. I just can't grab it. But I would say just leave it and grease it. But like, you can take a picture inside there. Looks like it's kind of rusted. I think it still turns.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, it might come out, but I don't even know if this. I guess somebody probably sells them. Let me see. You know, just as an experiment, we don't need this bearing, but we're just going to stuff some grease down that bearing somehow. You know what? Maybe just put it in the piece we pulled out.
Oh, the seal? Yeah, that makes sense. The race. Pretty sure it's called the race.
Put a shitload of it on there.
Use that red and tacky high temp grease. Do lots of left-hand turns like in NASCAR.
It's got rust inhibitor in that grease. So we're just gonna put that together. Just doing it for the heck of it. If I need more parts, I'll take it apart later. Yeah, this spring that came out looks the same on both ends. People were saying some of them might not be. Anyway, without this spring in here, this thing can move. So it's not just to hold this plate out. I think actually what this plate does is holds the column.
Keeps the retention.
It keeps the bearing tight. I think that's what this really is for. Not the other way around. So I think I'm just going to line up all the parts on the table, and then I'll take a picture so I don't forget, and everybody that wants to take it apart. But if you were to take this plastic thing out, I see 1, 2, 3. Oh man, this clip just popped off. Shit, I don't know where that went.
Pause it.
I'm looking at what the spring does, if you can see it. I think it just keeps this piece tight. So anyway, what I see is 1, 2, 3 screws, and you can take this plastic out. Maybe there's another one, but I just don't see it right this second. So let's do that again. I'm just looking at how this thing works. And also, you notice, can you see this?
Yeah.
This says cruise control on it. It's got 3 wires in it, black, blue, orange. This is all rusted, but I'm sure if you took this stuff out, you could probably switch this handle. You could probably switch this handle, get this hazard out, get this tilt out, and get this lock out.
So this is actually going to keep the bearing retained, even though we're keeping the spring for our steering column. You just want to slide it in there. This here is the slot for the horn contact, I believe, and then here's the other half of it. So it's got a big copper ring on it.
Let's see. Let's see the copper ring close up.
Copper ring.
That's the
And
contact.
then if you look in there, there's a contact in there for when there's a spring in another one of these basically that goes in here. So when you hit the horn, it actually knows you're hitting the horn.
Again, we're learning as we go because that's how we do it.
That's why we call it basket case garage. There we go.
So now lay that plate on there again. That whatever that piece. I got. So now it could. It's,
So basically the same thing.
I wonder if that has to go in a certain. I think it does. So we're gonna figure out where that piece. You know, I think that piece sticks into here, doesn't it?
No, but this slot has to go through that hole.
Right. So that has to be in.
That absolutely has to be lined up.
This has to be lined up. Well, don't beat it.
There we go. Okay, so there's a gap there. Is there a gap in the teeth on this?
Oh, look.
Yeah, there is. Look. So there's a the smooth spot without those grooves.
So also on this, I'm gonna zoom in on that.
Uh-huh.
Don't move. Go down a hair. So where's the flat spot?
So the flat spot, there's basically a missing tooth right here, and it's supposed to be missing. And then on the shaft itself, there's one spot where there's not actually a groove. So you do have to line this up, basically with that. So it would go something like this. Let's see.
Well, it should go where that hole is.
Yeah, well see, this can spin. It doesn't actually go into the teeth.
No, but this.
Huh?
Let's see.
That spins. So that, basically, the way I see them doing it is they had this together like so. So there's no teeth on this. And then they found their flat spot like we did. And it should slide right on. Where's my flat spot go? Yeah, right there. Yep. Just like butter. That thing went in nicely.
Okay, what we're thinking now, because when I put mine together, that piece might go through here.
It should.
You see? Yeah, it does. So when you put this on,
You have that horn contact slide through.
you know what that makes me think though?
Hmm.
You gotta clock your steering wheel right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if this isn't aligned right, your steering wheel's going to be off to the left or right when you mount it. So yeah, that's the other thing you got to watch for.
So it might be a trial and error when I do it, but if you want, you know, sometimes your steering wheel's off. You're gonna want to clock this, which I can't do right now. But anyway, I'm just gonna lay all the pieces out in a row on the table so I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, since I had so much trouble figuring this out and I really couldn't get complete help, I got a lot of help. But this is how it goes. We're gonna start with the bearings in there. The plastic sprinkler blinker pieces in there. So what goes next?
So it would be the spring would go in next.
Let's see. It's hard to film this. Okay, the spring will go in next. That's it. Now,
Yeah, and then this in between horn piece basically for the contacts of the horn would go in. And of course you would have the horn contact actually in there, and my suggestion is to put it in before you put anything else over that because it is a pain to try to lock that in place.
bring that piece over close.
So,
Right about here. Up, up. Let it focus. See that? Go put it in and turn it. See, it turns and it locks in. Trying to do that later is a pain.
especially with all that other stuff
Okay.
on there. So anyway, so then that would go on. And we're not actually gonna be able to fit everything because the spring, we're not gonna depress
Right.
it again. But
Oh, you can take that off. Okay, that's gonna go. Wait, there's a piece behind that plastic, right?
No, it's just a spring.
Where's the plate?
The plate's on it. So that,
Right,
that,
there's
that
a- the
normally that wouldn't be separated.
But the plate, so the plate goes in,
Plate goes into this plastic
cover.
Yeah. And then you would, of course, line up your teeth and the one missing non-tooth.
Okay, now lay that on the table,
Yeah. So,
and just that piece. Now build on top of that.
so
No, just lay it on the
in
table.
theory, we would be built up to this point.
Just lay that on the table. You can build on top of it.
Oh, on the table. Okay. So, we got our horn sticking through, basically. So this piece, like he said before, the bigger hole is for that horn contact. So we line up just like that. You put your actual horn in, which that's just a big horn.
Which end goes down?
Correct.
No, which end? I can't see it.
You want the black plastic with
You
these
gotta use
three
your
tags.
you gotta use your right hand. You gotta keep your left hand out of the way.
So you want to use these 3 tangs. You want to face them because that's where your actual horn is going to attach
Let's
to.
see.
So this tab here goes through that groove. Which will slide down in there. Of course, we would already have the retainer ring in, and then at this point the nut would be in as well. So this is the only piece that you'd pull out to get this off.
No,
technically.
the
And
nut
this
goes
would
down
be-
inside there.
This would go down in there.
The nut goes there.
Yeah.
So put so okay, you put that in.
The nut go over this.
No, put that in. I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can see the marks where this holds this in.
Okay, so the nut and the clip. Let's see the clip. This is what we think. No, the nut. I think what you're saying is you put this on.
So the nut and the clip would be on in this.
And then the nut, I don't know if you can see it, the nut goes there. And with this year, or maybe all of them, the clip goes on the nut, right?
Yeah. Goes right over, it'll lock into this ring here. Right on the edge.
Or is this going first?
No.
Yeah.
Goes over.
Well, why is there a mark there on that?
That's what I think it's from these.
Anyway,
Contact
once you put it together, either we think the clip goes on and the nut comes off. So it'd be like that. Like this, like this, like
Yeah.
like that,
Black up. Yep.
like that.
Center.
Then this cap actually snaps into what? Pull that piece out.
So, of course, you would have this. You could have the steering wheel on at this. Actually, you would have the steering wheel on at this point because your bolt holes are going to line up like that.
But that doesn't snap into that.
No, not at all. So it snaps into the horn mechanism itself, just like this. Those 3 tabs I was talking about earlier. And that's it. And then the spring of the horn is right here. Believe it or not. That little bit of movement is what you actually press in here and to get your horn to honk.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's good. So now we know. Now you know everything we know. Oh, and you also got that where the emblem.
Oh, that's for the shifter.
Other one. Another. Isn't that it? Well, anyway, there is. So then the emblem goes down. You could, and that emblem. How does that go in there? They just glue in?
This one's broken, but there would be 3 of these tabs here,
Yeah.
and each one would go into one of those marks there.
Okay. So for my car, it would be a Goldbird.
Correct.
Any other car, I don't know. Bring that closer. I wonder if we have to clean up, right? What is it pushing on? I mean, what is it pushing to?
So, when you do that right here, I believe that's a contact. It's just pretty dirty, and that's where what is that guy? And that's where that guy would stick through. And so when you press on the horn, you'd be pressing on that, making the contact to sound the horn. And then of course that goes through this ring into that other contact, and it's kind of a big mess of contacts, but it works.
Anyway, that's how we're pretty sure that's the way it goes, so I can put my steering wheel back. Now that I have the pieces out of this car, even though I ordered some pieces not knowing I had this column, we can now put the wheel in my car. But if it's clocked or not, I don't know, because I took the whole car apart. So I might have to, I don't know. I'll get to that when I get to that. So that's it on that. Look educated. Hey, he's looking educated. So, Justin, we're gonna go over one more thing on this. Go ahead, Justin.
So these are what we just took off of the extra steering column we
What,
had.
the back row?
Yes, the one with more parts. Looking at the horn mechanism, so with these three pieces we had in the center console of the car already.
Which three people? Point to them.
These three pieces here.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah. So we had these. They were sitting in the center console. We didn't know what they were at first.
That's all we had.
That's all we had. So looking at them, I realized this one here. It's from the 1980s
Let's see.
vehicle.
Bring it closer.
Yeah. It says 1980 right on it, March.
Okay.
And then the stuff from our center console says February 76, which that's a plus.
Are they the same?
They're identical. I can't see anything different other than this one's got a little bit of rust damage to it.
Okay.
Same thing here. So we got that plate that we had to get the retaining ring out to get this out. The 76 just looks a bit used, but other than that, they're about the same. And then
About the same, or
they are the same.
they are the same?
Yeah. And then the horn contacts, same thing. One just looks a bit newer, but other than that, they are identical. So
I'm just gonna add one more thing here. So it looks like all columns are the same in this, at least for as far as we tore it down. So I mean, it might go all the way to 70. I don't know. It might be all the second generations are all the same, but this is what we noticed, and that's it again. So just to close this video out, that's what we were working on, but he was also working on this. I mean, if you watch my other videos, I've been collecting parts, screws, and so that's where we are right now. We got all the right screws, we got all the right bolts, everything so far. Seats will go in tomorrow. We'll re-hook up that center column console, and then I'm going to go on to the engine. I can't find these panels up here. Nobody's making them right now. I got the lower half. This is a two-piece door panel. I can't find the upper panels. So that's it. And the seatbelts go down in there. I found a couple ashtrays upstairs. Still got to work out a couple wiring issues. I think this is a speaker. That's a dome light. We got to fix this ground for the defroster. The other wire is a hot wire to the defroster window. And this white wire is, because I put a T-top on, this is the original wire that came with the T-top. And that's the wire that came without the T-top. So that's it. Yeah, I'm just going to add one last thing, because I'm going to take these back up to my boneyard pile. But these are the wrong ones. This is if you have the knobs, I know I've said this before, but if you have these knobs, you shouldn't have AC. With AC, there are no knobs. So these are the wrong ones. I found some cheap. They're coming. So I can't put those into the car.